Well, hi.
Hello. Well, first off, let's kind of establish it for the tape that you're a witness to this crime, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's get the formalities done. What is your name?
Shane Christianson, or Christianson.
Christian, C-H?
Ristianson.
Do you have any ID on you?
Yeah.
The time is 7:38 in the morning. What's your current address?
3377 West Water Street, Riverton, Utah, 84065.
It's terrible to get old. Okay. Well, let's just start at the very beginning. Let's really start at the beginning. So I would assume that you were a village in meeting or?
Yeah, I had just gotten there. I was meeting a candidate for an interview. I just got there maybe 5 minutes before it happened.
What was the person who you were gonna meet? What's his name or her name?
Lee Carlson. I was meeting him there at 7.
Okay.
I never did meet him. He may actually be the main witness, but I'm not sure. So, parked the car, went inside, and he hadn't arrived yet, so I was just sitting in the front waiting area facing towards the parking lot.
He being this Lee person?
Yeah. So I was just sitting in the front waiting area facing the parking lot. I don't specifically remember the SUV pulling up. I may have noticed it, but to me, I was just kind of looking around, not really paying attention.
Now you see, the SUV, what does this SUV have to do?
It's the white Lincoln Navigator that I'm assuming the shooter basically got into after he shot him and left.
Okay, so this white Lincoln Navigator,
I'm pretty sure it's a Navigator. I'm pretty sure I recognize the taillights as a Navigator. I'm pretty good with recognizing cars, but it was a white SUV, and I think it was a Navigator.
Okay, so kind of back up a little because I didn't follow there.
Okay. So I was sitting on the bench, just kind of looking out of the parking lot, waiting for this guy I was supposed to meet to arrive. I think I saw what seemed like I was facing the parking lot, and to the right side of just outside the window, I thought I saw one of the guys running briefly. And then I didn't see him again, I heard 2 loud bangs, what sounded like somebody taking a hammer and hitting the side of the building. That's what it sounded like. Didn't really know what it was. The manager walked out to see what it was. I followed him out, and there was the guy. Or actually, let me back up. After the 2 loud bangs, I saw a guy running from that area right by the building to the white SUV. He had all 4 doors open. He shut them all 4. All 4 got in and took off.
Okay, so let's kind of back up a little bit.
Okay.
This bench that you were sitting on, is this outside the building, inside?
It's inside the building. There's inside the waiting area to be seated. There's 2 benches along each wall. I was sitting on the bench facing the parking lot.
Okay, and so you were inside, but there's a window there?
There's a big window there facing the parking lot.
And while you're sitting there, you remember seeing a vehicle come in, and this was the Navigator?
I remember seeing the copper car come in, which is happened right in front of it.
What kind of car is the copper car? Do you remember? Is it an SUV?
It's like a crossover SUV. I think it's like a Acura or Lexus or something, like one of those smaller crossover SUVs that are kind of sporty looking. I saw him pull in. I think I saw the white vehicle pull in.
So in this copper color vehicle, how many people are in there?
Just one.
Just one, and that was the driver, I would imagine?
Yeah.
Okay. And in the Navigator you described, you saw pull in the parking lot, how many people were in there?
I couldn't tell, cause they pulled in, where the window is, they pulled in facing away from me, just like right inside the window shot, so I couldn't see how many people were in that car when it pulled in, cause it pulled in facing the opposite direction.
Okay, but there were more than one, do you think, or do you have any?
I mean, I think the person I saw that ran off and the guy that was shot, I believe were both in that car. I'm not 100% positive, but
Okay.
when the guy ran back to the car, he closed like 3 or 4 doors or at least like 3 doors, and then got back in the car and took off.
So the person who you saw in the Navigator, or one of the people that you saw in the Navigator, can you describe them at all?
When he was I saw him from the back. He was, medium height, maybe a little husky. Had brown hair, maybe lighter brown hair, and it was kind of wavy, about shoulder length. But I saw him that's what I saw from the back, because he was running away from me.
About how old again?
From the back, I would guess somewhere in the 30s or 40s, but it's hard to tell from the back.
Okay. And the person, you didn't actually see the shots?
I did not actually see the shots.
But you heard the noise?
I heard the 2 bangs.
But then you saw someone running away?
Yes.
And you just described that person running away?
Yes.
And now what about the copper-colored vehicle?
Mm-hmm.
How does that all tie in?
It happened right in front of that person's car.
And how do you know so you're saying that the person who was shot owned probably the copper-colored car?
No, the guy that was the main witness to it. After it happened, we were out there talking, and he was like, "Yeah, I pulled up, saw these 2 guys doing something, and then the one shot the other one right in front of me. He was in his car. He said he had ducked down, so
I see, okay.
I think he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time."
Okay. Do you remember any other people in the area, at all? You saw someone running away?
Mm-hmm.
Or it was only one person?
Only one person ran away.
Okay. Did you see them get in a car or anything? Did you see them get in the Navigator?
Yeah, the one person running away got in the white SUV.
And you saw him do that?
Yes.
And what happened then? Did it drive away?
Yeah, it took off. It pulled out of its parking space and then took off.
Which direction did it go?
I believe it went east out of the parking lot. But it was hard to tell because the window didn't show the actual road, but I believe it went east.
Okay. And then after this occurred, you went outside.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just kind of go over that again. Tell me what you saw.
I went outside. The gentleman in the copper car was standing there talking on the phone, I'm assuming to 911. The manager was out there, and they were looking at this guy laying on the ground, and he had blood, coming out of his eyes and ears and mouth and stuff like that.
Did that person say anything at all, or did you?
The only thing I could tell was that it looked like he was trying to breathe,
Okay.
and but I didn't hear him say anything. It just looked like he was struggling to breathe.
Okay. And did you have any conversations with the gentleman in the copper car?
No.
None at all?
No.
Okay. Did you have any conversations with the manager?
Brief ones.
What was that about?
It was just, asking, when we came back inside after the police arrived, I'd asked him, I said I thought it was a guy had hit the wall with with a hammer a couple times. I thought he was putting up some sign or something and then taking off. And he said, yeah, that's what it sounded like to me. And then when we were outside, prior to that, when we were outside, it was just, nothing much was said.
Okay.
So I think they were just busy trying to figure out what to do with the guy while the guy was on the phone with 911. So I didn't talk to him much outside.
So how many shots did you hear?
2.
2.
Oh, one thing I did take down the license plate. I remember the license plate, and I was running over in my head to make sure I remembered it. And when I went outside, the cops had already arrived. Actually, the cops may not have arrived yet. The guy in the copper car was on the phone with 911. I said, I've got the license plate number if you need it. And he had saw it too, and said what the license plate number was, and I confirmed that's what I saw. And then that was the only conversation I had with him.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I want you to think about this person who got into the car and left, to the SUV. Really think about that and what you saw there. I'm gonna take the time. And let's kind of re-describe what you saw on that.
Okay, he was, like I said, I saw, he ran from out of where I couldn't see in the window. He ran from that point over to the SUV. I already described his hair. I believe he was wearing either a dark blue or a dark green jacket. I don't remember what color of his pants, but he ran over to the car. Both back doors of the SUV were open. I think the right passenger front was open. He shut those, shut the other one, and then got in, backed out of the parking space, and left the parking lot.
Yeah, was he Caucasian? Was he black?
Like I said, I saw him from the back. I'm pretty sure he was Caucasian, but like I said, all I saw was his hair, and so unless it's not normally a hair color you'd see on a black guy or an Asian guy, so I'm assuming he was Caucasian, but I'm not 100% positive.
Okay. And did you notice any tattoos, or I'm just kind of picking your brain here. Just
No, didn't notice anything else.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? When he shut the door and then he ran around the other side, I'm pretty sure he's Caucasian. I'm not, like I said, in these situations you want to be 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure he's Caucasian. So.
Again, what I'm doing here is just picking your brain.
I know. I